Have you ever noticed how some signs seem to face more challenges in life than others? If you know a Libra, you've probably noticed that they carry a different emotional burden, a sensitivity that sometimes feels like a burden. Today we'll reveal the 8 spiritual reasons why Libras suffer more than other zodiac signs. What if I told you that behind all this pain lies a greater purpose? That Libra's suffering is actually a spiritual calling to something much deeper? Stay until the end, because I'll show you how this apparent curse can be transformed into the greatest blessing in a Libra's life. Those who leave now will miss the key to understanding not only Libras, but also the deepest mysteries of spiritual evolution. Reason 1. The first spiritual reason Libras suffer more is because they were born with the gift of energetic hypersensitivity. While other signs can filter the energies around them, Libras absorb everything like a cosmic sponge. They feel the pain of others as if it were their own, capturing the negative vibrations of environments and people without being able to protect themselves. Imagine walking into a room and instantly feeling the weight of everyone's emotions. This is what happens to Libras every day, in a discussion between friends, while others are only concerned with their own perspectives. Libras physically feel the anguish of each person involved. This heightened capacity for perception turns them into true emotional barometers. The superpower behind this suffering is extraordinary. This sensitivity makes Libras natural healers, capable of understanding and embracing human pain in a unique way. They become confessors, counselors, the ones people turn to when they need to be truly understood. Their pain prepares them to be instruments of healing in the world. Reason 2. The second reason is the karmic mission of balancing extreme polarities. Libras came to this plane with the cosmic responsibility of harmonizing opposing forces, and this means constantly living at the center of intense conflicts. They are placed in situations where they must mediate between completely antagonistic people, ideas, and energies. Think of a Libra at work trying to reconcile 2 colleagues who hate each other, or at home mediating family conflicts that have lasted generations. While others might choose a side and move on, Libra feels a moral obligation to find a balance. This constant pressure to be the universal mediator generates immense emotional stress. Karmic mission transforms Libras into true ambassadors of peace. They develop a unique wisdom about human relationships, becoming experts at finding solutions where others see only problems. Their ability to see all sides of an issue makes them natural leaders in processes of reconciliation and collective healing. Before continuing, if you're discovering incredible things about Libras, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any astrological secrets. Comment where you're watching from. I love knowing where our Libras are in Brazil and around the world. Reason 3. The third spiritual reason is that Libras carry collective traumas related to injustice. They are born with an ancestral memory of the inequalities, oppression, and imbalances that humanity has faced over the centuries. Therefore, they feel profound pain whenever they witness any form of injustice, no matter how small. A Libra cannot ignore a situation where someone is being treated unequally. Whether it's a waiter being mistreated, an abandoned animal, or news of corruption, they feel every injustice as a personal wound. This connection to collective pain leaves them constantly mobilized and emotionally drained. This suffering transforms them into warriors for social justice. Libras often become lawyers, activists, psychologists, or work in humanitarian causes. Their outrage at injustice becomes a driving force for creating positive change in the world. They are the ones who cannot rest as long as they know inequality exists somewhere. Reason 4. The fourth reason is the spiritual need to experience solitude to develop discernment. Paradoxically, being the sign of partnerships, Libra needs to go through intense periods of isolation to learn to distinguish between emotional dependence and true love. This solitary journey is painful for those born seeking connection. During these periods of solitude, Libras face all their fears of abandonment, rejection, and inadequacy. They question whether they are worthy of love, whether their attempts to please everyone have made them false. It's a painful but necessary process of deconstruction for their spiritual growth. From this solitude emerges an authentic Libra, who has learned to love themselves before loving others. They develop healthier relationships, based on conscious choice rather than desperate need. They become examples of how it is possible to love without losing oneself, to connect without being annulled. Reason 5. The fifth spiritual reason is that Libras are constantly tested in their ability to forgive. The universe places them in situations where people close to them betray, disappoint, or deeply hurt them. These tests are not cosmic cruelty, but opportunities to develop one of the highest virtues of spirituality. Imagine discovering that your best friend has been talking badly about you behind your back, or that a romanticized partner has broken your trust. For a Libra, who invests so much emotional energy in relationships, these betrayals are especially devastating. They must choose between harboring resentment or finding the path to genuine forgiveness. When they learn to truly forgive, Libras become beacons of compassion. They understand that forgiveness is not about the other person, but about freeing their own soul. This wisdom transforms them into spiritual teachers capable of teaching others about the liberation that comes through conscious forgiveness. Reason 6. The sixth reason is the karmic responsibility to heal wounds related to collective self-esteem. Libras often face situations where their appearance, self-worth, or capabilities are questioned. This happens because they came to work through deep issues about self-image and self-worth that affect all of humanity. From a young age, many Libras face criticism about their appearance, comparisons, or feelings of needing to try too hard to be accepted. This constant pressure to conform to external standards creates deep wounds in their self-esteem. They carry the pain of an entire community struggling with self-acceptance. When they can heal these wounds within themselves, Libras become powerful agents of transformation in the area of self-esteem. They help others recognize their unique beauty, work on body image issues, or create movements of acceptance and self-love. Their personal healing generates waves of collective healing. Reason 7. The seventh spiritual reason is that Libras need to learn to establish healthy boundaries through suffering. Because they naturally seek harmony and approval, they tend to say yes to everything and everyone, overexerting themselves to the point of physical and emotional exhaustion. The universe uses this pain as a teacher to teach the importance of boundaries. A typical Libra will work overtime even when exhausted, lend money they don't have to avoid hurting others, or cancel their own plans to accommodate others' requests. This excessive generosity eventually takes its toll in the form of burnout, unbalanced relationships, and loss of self-identity. The painful learning about limits transforms Libras into balanced people who know when to say no. They develop the wisdom to understand that taking care of themselves isn't selfish, but a responsibility. They become examples of how it's possible to be generous without self-destructive, loving without self-denial. Reason 8. The eighth and final spiritual reason is that Libras are called to consciously integrate light and shadow. They suffer because they try to always be nice, denying the dark aspects of their personality. This denial creates an internal imbalance that manifests as anxiety, depression, or problematic relationships. For a long time, Libras try to maintain a perfect image, hiding anger, envy, or other feelings considered negative. This repression eventually explodes in destructive ways, or turns into psychosomatic illnesses. Suffering forces them to confront these denied aspects of themselves. When they finally embrace their wholeness, including light and shadow, Libras become complete and authentic human beings. They understand that true spirituality is not about perfection, but about integration. They become guides for others who struggle with accepting all aspects of their humanity. Now you understand that Libra's suffering is not punishment, but preparation. Every pain faced is a spiritual initiation. Every challenge an opportunity for growth. Libras who endure these trials emerge as true masters of compassion, balance, and relational wisdom. Which of these spiritual themes resonated most deeply with you? If you're a Libra, did you recognize your own journey in these words? And if you know a Libra, do you now better understand the depths of their soul? The universe gives no burdens greater than we can bear, and it has chosen Libras for one of its noblest missions: to teach humanity about love, justice, and balance through their own example of overcoming adversity.